Students, in this class we are going to discuss about alternator, in which we are going to see about definition, types, working principle, construction, armature reaction, armature winding, rating of alternator, application of induction generator. We will see one by one. First one is definition and types of alternator. An alternator is an electrical generator that converts mechanical energy to electrical energy in the form of alternating current. Alternator is an electrical generator that converts mechanical energy to electrical energy in the form of alternating current. Most alternators use rotating magnetic field with stationary armature. It is also known as synchronous generator. The other name of alternator is synchronous generator. It is classified depending upon the application and their design. It is classified depending upon the application and their design. Depending upon the application, it is classified into automotive type. It is used in automobiles, and diesel electric locomotive type used in diesel electrical multiple unit, marine type used in marine, brushless type used in electrical power generation plant as main source of power, radio alternators used for low band radio frequency transmission. They are all depending upon the application. According to the design, it is classified into two types. One is salient pole type, another one is cylindrical rotor type. One is salient pole type, another one is cylindrical rotor type. These are the types of alternator. Then working principle of alternator. The working principle of alternator depends upon Faraday's law of electromagnetic induction, which says the current induced in the conductor inside a magnetic field when there is a relative motion between the conductor and the magnetic field. That is, whenever a current carrying conductor cuts the flux, an EMF will be induced in it. So the working principle of alternator depends upon the Faraday's law of electromagnetic induction, which says the current is induced in a conductor inside a magnetic field when there is a relative motion between the conductor and the magnetic field. See the diagram. There will be a permanent magnet N and S, and at center will be the coil. It will be rotated. For understanding working of alternator, let us assume a single rectangular turn placed in between two opposite magnetic poles as shown in figure. For understanding, we have to assume the working of alternator by a single rectangular turn placed in between two opposite magnetic poles as shown in figure. The single turn loop ABCD starts rotating clockwise against axis AB. After 90 degree rotation, the side AB or conductor AB of the loop comes in front of the S pole and conductor CD comes in front of the N pole. As per Fleming's right hand rule, the direction of this current will be from A to B. At the same time, the conductor CD comes under N pole, and here also if we apply Fleming's right hand rule, we will get the direction of induced current, and it will be from the C to D. Now see the diagram. Now after clockwise rotation of another 90 degree, the turn ABCD comes at vertical position as shown below. At this position, tangential motion of conductor AB and CD is just parallel to the magnetic flux lines. Hence, there will be no flux cutting that. There is no current in the conductor. While the turn ABCD comes from horizontal position to vertical position, angle between the flux lines and direction of motion of conductor reduces from 90 degree to 0 degree, and consequently the induced current in the turn is reduced to 0 from its maximum value. Now see the diagram. As at this position, the turn comes at horizontal position from its vertical position, the current in the conductor comes to its maximum value from 0. That means current is circulating in the closed channel from point B to A, from A to D, from D to C, and from C to B. During every full revolution of the turn, the current in the turn gradually reaches to its maximum value, then reduces to 0, and then again it comes to its maximum value but in opposite direction, and again it comes to 0. In this way, the current completes one full sine wave from during each 360 degree revolution of the turn. Thus, an alternating current is produced in a turn is rotated inside a magnetic field. From this, we come to the actual working principle of alternator. So, it is the construction of alternator. See the diagram. First one is the pulley, second one is the drive axle, third one is the rotor, and next one is the rotor, final rotor, and next one is stator, and finally collector ring, that is the end shield. They are the parts of alternator: pulley, drive and shield, rotor, stator, collecting ring that is N-sealed. They are the parts of the alternator. First we will see about the stator. What is stator? Stator is a stationary part of the alternator and contains three-phase armature windings. Stator core is built up of silicon steel laminations to reduce eddy current losses. The laminations are provided with slots on its inner periphery. See the diagram, there will be a lamination and are packed tightly together by cast iron frame. The three-phase windings are placed in these slots and serves as the armature winding of the alternator. The armature winding are always connected in star and the neutral is connected to a ground. So next one is rotor. The rotor is rotating part of the alternator. It carries a field winding which is supplied with a DC current through two slip rings by a separate DC source. This DC source, that is exciter, is generally a small DC generator mounted on the shaft of the alternator. See the diagram, it will be used in the power plant, that is the alternator used in the power plant. There are two types of rotors, one is salient pole type, another one is cylindrical rotor type. So depending upon which, the alternator is classified into salient pole alternator and cylindrical rotor alternator. It is depends upon the design. First one is salient pole alternator. See the diagram, it is the salient pole alternator. Salient pole means sticking out or projected out. Sticking out or projected out. A salient pole is a magnetic pole that is projected out of the rotor surface. The salient pole alternators are slow speed machines, speed varying from 150 to 600 rpm. These alternators are driven by hydraulic turbines. They are also called as water wheel generators or hydro generators. Salient type rotor has non-uniform air gap and 2 or 4 poles. Salient pole construction cannot be made strong enough to withstand the mechanical stress at higher speeds. Next one is cylindrical rotor type. Cylindrical rotor is, see the diagram, it is a cylindrical alternator. It is a non-projecting surface type. The rotor has smaller diameter and larger length. Cylindrical rotor type rotor is used for high speed and has uniform air gap. Cylindrical rotors have 4 or more number of poles. High speed alternators, that is 1500 to 3000 rpm, are driven by steam turbines and use non-salient type rotors due to following reasons. It gives noiseless operation at high speeds. Flux is uniformly distributed along the periphery, so proper sine wave is obtained which gives better EMF. So cylindrical rotors are preferred in thermal power plant. Next we will see about the armature reaction. Armature reaction in alternator or synchronous generator. Every rotating electrical machine works based on Faraday's law. Every electrical machine requires a magnetic field and a coil known as armature with a relative motion between them. In case of an alternator, we supply electricity to pole to produce magnetic field and output power is taken from the armature. Due to relative motion between field and armature, the conductor of armature cuts the flux of magnetic field and hence there would be changing flux linkage with this armature conductor. According to Faraday's law of electromagnetic induction, there would be an EMF induced in the armature. According to Faraday's law of electromagnetic induction, there would be an EMF induced in the armature. Thus, as soon as the load is connected with the armature terminals, there is a current flowing in the armature coil. Thus, as soon as the load is connected with the armature terminal, there is a current flowing in the armature coil. As soon as current starts flowing to the armature conductor, there is one reverse effect of this current on the main field flux of the alternator or synchronous generator. As soon as the current starts flowing to the armature conductor, there is one reverse effect of this current on the main field flux of the alternator, that is the synchronous generator. This reverse effect is referred as armature reaction. That is the action of main field MMF on the armature MMF is called as armature reaction. The action of armature MMF on the main field MMF is called as armature reaction. That is the reverse effect. It is called as armature reaction in alternator or synchronous generator. The armature reaction of alternator or synchronous generator depends upon the phase angle between stator armature current and induced voltage across the armature winding of alternator. The phase difference between these two quantities, that is armature current and voltage, may vary from 90 degree, that is minus 90 degree, to plus 90 degree. If this angle is theta, then when theta equal to 0, there will be unity power factor. When theta equal to 90 degree, lagging 0 power factor. When theta equal to minus 90 degree, there will be leading power factor. So when theta equal to 0, it is unity power factor. At unity power factor, the angle between armature current and induced EMF is 0. That means armature current and induced EMF are in same phase. When theta equal to 90 degree, there is a lagging 0 power factor. At lagging 0 electrical power factor, the armature current lags by 90 degree to the induced EMF in the armature. As the EMF induced in the armature coil due to main field flux, the EMF leads the main flux by 90 degree. When theta equal to minus 90 degree, there will be a leading power factor. At leading power factor condition, armature current I leads induced EMF E by an angle 90 degree. Again we have shown just field flux leads induced EMF E by 90 degree. Armature winding of alternator. Armature winding in an alternator may be either closed type or open type. Closed winding forms star connection in armature winding of alternator. Common properties of armature winding. First and most important property of an armature winding is two sides of any coil should be under two adjacent poles. That means coil span equal to pole pitch. First property is coil span equal to pole pitch. The winding can either be a single layer or double layer. It may be single layer or double layer. Winding is so arranged in different armature slots that it must produce sinusoidal EMF. It must produce sinusoidal EMF. There are different types of winding. First one is single phase winding, second one is lap winding, wave winding, concentric winding, full pitched coil winding, and finally fractional pitched coil winding. We will see one by one. So first one is the single phase winding. It is for the single phase alternator and it is also used for the polyphase armature winding. Second one is lap winding. It is in the form of overlapping, so it is called as lap winding. Then wave winding. It is in the form of wave. It is in the form of sine wave, so it is called as wave winding. Then concentric winding. It is like a concentric conductor, so it is called as concentric winding. Then rating of alternator. Power rating of alternator is defined as the power which can be delivered by an alternator safely and efficiently under some specific conditions. Power rating of alternator is defined as the power which can be delivered by an alternator safely and efficiently under some specific conditions. The power rating of an alternator is so specified that at that maximum load, the temperature rise of different parts of the machine does not cross the specified safe limit. It does not cross the specified safe limit. The copper losses, that is the I squared R loss, varies with armature current and core losses vary with voltage. The temperature rise of heating alternator depends upon cumulative effects of copper loss and core loss. As there is no role of power factor upon these losses, the rating of alternator generally in VA or kVA or MVA. For low power machine VA and for high power machine it may be kVA or MVA. Again I will repeat this point. The temperature rise or heating of alternator depends only on the copper loss and core loss. There is no role for power factor upon these losses. Therefore, the rating of alternator generally in VA or kVA or MVA. The electrical output of an alternator is product of power factor and VA, and output is expressed in kilowatt. Sometimes alternators are also rated by its power instead of VA rating. It is a standard rating of alternators. See the example. Kilowatt rating is 5000 kilowatts, power factor is 0.85 lagging, kVA is 5,88,000, stator voltage is 21,000, stator ampere is 16,200, voltage is 340, rotor ampere is 4,440, RPM is 3000, frequency is 50 Hz, phase is 3 phase, armature connection is double star, coolant is water and hydrogen, gas pressure is 3.5 bar, insulation type is F, specification is 155422 and IEC 34. It is the nameplate rating of alternator, that is a standard rating of alternator. Then application of alternators, that is application of induction generator. The synchronous generator, the alternator is also called as induction generator. The conditions when the induction machine will behave as induction generator are written below. Slip becomes negative due to this, the rotor current and the rotor EMF attains negative value. Slip means ns minus n by ns. It becomes negative due to this rotor current and rotor EMF attains negative value. The prime mover torque becomes opposite to electric torque. These conditions can be achieved when an induction machine is coupled with the prime mover whose speed can be controlled. If the speed of the prime mover is increased such that the slip becomes negative. When the slip is negative, it acts as an induction generator. Due to this, all the conditions that we have mentioned above will become fulfilled and machine will behave like an induction generator. Induction generator is not a self-excited machine. Therefore, in order to develop field, it requires magnetizing current and reactive power. We can have a self-excited or isolated induction generation in one case if we will use capacitor bank for reactive power supply instead of AC supply system. It is also called as synchronous condenser. The function of the capacitor bank is to provide the lagging reactive power to the induction generator as well as load. Externally excited generators are widely used for regenerative braking of hoist driven by the three-phase induction motors. The efficiency of the externally excited generator is not so good. We cannot use externally excited generator at lagging power factor, which major drawback of the type of the generator. The amount of reactive power used to run this type of generator required is quite large. For the externally excited generator, the amount of reactive power used to run this type of generator is large. Self-excited generators are used in windmills. Thus, this type of generator helps in converting the unconventional sources of energy into electrical energy. They are the applications of synchronous generator. It acts as an induction generator. It is used for regenerative braking. It is used for windmills. These are the applications of synchronous generator. Thank you.